Welcome to today's Explainer. Today we're unpacking a really fascinating narrative, one that brilliantly intertwines an ancient timepiece with modern astrophysics. We're looking at a story that bridges a 500-year gap between traditional Islamic astronomy and, well, cutting-edge space science. It's the kind of narrative that absolutely challenges how we view knowledge, technology, and faith.
Okay, so let's dive right into this impossible anomaly. Because you've got to wonder, how on earth could a wooden, gear-driven clock sitting in an ancient mosque somehow anticipate a global geomagnetic event that took modern space agencies literally decades to confirm? I know it sounds like complete science fiction, but the source material we're exploring today lays out this phenomenal sequence of events where ancient mechanical engineering goes toe-to-toe with modern satellite data.
Section 1. A Tale of Two Generations. Tradition versus modernity. To really get this mystery, we first need to look through the two completely different lenses of our main characters. On one side, we have Ibrahim. He's the deeply devoted caretaker of the ancient Shahi Mosque. His family has been maintaining its 500-year-old astronomical clock for generations. Now keep in mind, this clock doesn't use batteries or digital chips. No, it relies entirely on complex wooden gears and brass pendulums to calculate time, specifically the dawn prayer, Fajr, just by tracking the position of the sun and the stars. For Ibrahim, keeping this clock ticking is literally a living extension of his faith. But then, in stark contrast, we have his estranged son, Zakaria. Zakaria actually grew up fascinated by those exact same wooden gears. But as an adult, well, he abandoned his faith, moved to the United States, and became a brilliant astrophysicist for NASA. Now, Zakaria relies completely on supercomputers, telemetry, and satellites. In fact, he arrogantly tells his dad that the ancient clock is just an obsolete wooden box.
Section 2. The Morning Time Stopped. March 23, 2024.
So the stark divide between these two worldviews is completely shattered on one fateful morning. Picture this, at exactly 5:32 a.m., right at the time of the Fajr call to prayer, the ancient clock just completely freezes. The local worshippers, understandably, start to panic. They assume it's a bad omen or that this centuries-old relic has just finally broken for good. But Ibrahim stays incredibly calm. Later that same morning, he climbs up into the dusty clock tower, carefully dismantles the ancient gears, and discovers something astonishing tucked beneath the mechanical disc. It's a hidden, handwritten Arabic manuscript. And then, get this, that exact same night, halfway across the world, Zakaria gets a frantic, urgent call from his NASA lab. They have just confirmed an unprecedented, massive shift in Earth's magnetic North Pole.
You see, what Ibrahim found hidden inside those gears was a dusty manuscript written by the original 16th century clockmaker, Usman al-Falaki. The translation read, "If ever this clock stops at the time of Fajr, know that the Earth's magnetic pole has shifted. My calculations say this will happen within 500 years. Just let that sink in for a second. 5 centuries ago, without a single modern instrument, this astronomer predicted the exact, precise geological event that Zakaria's NASA team was frantically verifying that very night.
But here's the crazy part. The manuscript didn't just stop at some vague prophecy. It provided hard, actionable data. The ancient text explicitly instructed that to recalibrate the clock for the new magnetic reality, the dawn time needed to be advanced by exactly 4 minutes and 32 seconds. It was a precise, stunning mathematical adjustment literally engineered into the wood and brass half a millennium before the event actually occurred.
Section 3. The NASA Connection. Ancient math versus supercomputers.
This brings us to the absolutely mind-blowing moment where ancient calculations and modern astrophysics officially collide. So Zakaria calls his father to boast about this historical magnetic shift NASA just confirmed, fully expecting the older man to be clueless. Instead, Ibrahim calmly turns the camera to the ancient manuscript. What Zakaria sees on that video call absolutely stuns him. The pages are covered in complex mathematical equations detailing sunspots and the highly erratic movement of magnetic particles. Guys, these were the exact same formulas that Zakaria's cutting-edge lab, using incredibly powerful NASA supercomputers, had just spent the last 3 agonizing months trying to calculate. Basically, a 16th century mind had comprehensively beaten 21st century microprocessors.
This glaring mystery pushes a completely bewildered Zakaria to board a flight and return home immediately. He is burning with one question. How is this physically possible? How does someone living in the 1500s outpace modern astrophysics without satellites, without digital sensors, and barely with rudimentary telescopes? He knows he has to see the final pages of that dusty text for himself to uncover the truth.
Section 4. The Ancient Manuscript's Secret. The Source of Knowledge.
Back at the ancient mosque, surrounded by the dismantled wooden gears of his childhood, the ultimate reveal finally comes to light. On the final page of the manuscript, Usman al-Falaki explicitly states his methodology. And you know what? It wasn't just raw mathematics. He grounded his entire work in a specific verse from the Quran. He directs the whole affair from the heavens to the earth. The ancient clockmaker wrote that he calculated the complex shifting of the stars and the Earth's tilt, not just through raw intellect, but through his deep theological belief that an active creator governs these celestial mechanics. For him, science was, at its core, an act of observing the creator's deliberate design.
This triggers a profound, super-emotional realization for Zachariah. He's standing there, a man of pure data, suddenly realizing he has a massive blind spot in his worldview. Think about it. He possessed the most advanced telescopes humanity had ever built. He could literally see further into the cosmos than anyone in history. Yet, this ancient astronomer saw further into the truth of the cosmos because of his faith. Zachariah realized that while he meticulously calculated the heavens for a living, he had arrogantly ignored the creator of the heavens.
Section 5. Reconciling Science and Faith. A New Beginning.
This emotional climax beautifully sets the stage for a physical restoration. Following those 500-year-old instructions step by step, Ibrahim carefully turns a special, hidden disc inside the clock. Immediately, the ancient mechanical gears seamlessly click right into place, physically aligning the entire machine with the Earth's newly shifted magnetic pole. The clock springs back to life, and the calculation for the dawn prayer flawlessly shifts from the frozen 5:32 a.m. to the newly correct time of 5:28 a.m. The mechanism was never broken at all. It was literally just waiting for its moment to adapt.
Deeply moved by this incredible convergence of worlds, Zachariah's life changes forever. He takes his Shahada, embracing his faith once again. He eventually returns to his work at NASA, but with a completely transformed perspective. Now, he dedicates his scientific career to bridging the gap between ancient Muslim astronomical discoveries and modern science. The source narrative here brilliantly uses this moment to prove a point. Tradition and modernity, faith and science, they don't have to be enemies. Actually, scratch that. They can profoundly inform and elevate one another.
The story concludes with a really beautiful tradition. Every year on March 23rd, the anniversary of the event, Ibrahim and Zachariah reunite at the mosque. They take out that same manuscript and read the humbling final line left by the 16th century clockmaker. This clock will not only tell time, it will tell that Allah is above time. You measure time, but never measure the owner of time. It's such a powerful reminder that while science measures the intricate mechanics of the universe, it really shouldn't lose sight of the profound wonder behind it all.
As we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a final, powerful question to reflect on. Does true discovery come only from the lenses of our telescopes or also from the humility of our hearts? This narrative of the clock that stopped at Fajr challenges us to broaden our definition of knowledge. It shows us that when we combine the rigorous data of the modern world with the wisdom and humility of the past, we might just discover a much deeper understanding of the universe. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey today. I highly encourage you to keep questioning, keep learning, and as always, keep looking up.